Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to today's live. Welcome. Please share with any parent, teacher, guardian, or someone who just loves kids and they have a child or have a child or a kid around them who struggles to write. We are going to talk about the reasons. Share, like, subscribe. If you are joining for the very first time, kindly subscribe. Welcome to my live. Welcome. Okay. So good evening, everyone, and it's the weekend, and yeah, it's a very exciting thing because it's the weekend. So thank you for joining in. Welcome to my YouTube live. So today we're going to be talking about the difficulties that children face in writing. We're going to be talking about the difficulties that most children face in writing. Difficulties that most children face in writing. So um, writing is the basics of um, academics education. The ability for you to understand, or for a child to understand whatever is being heard, seen, taught, is to put it down on a paper. So for instance, that's the reason why um, in academics, to prove that you actually have been taught or you understand the knowledge that has been passed to you, prove that you were able, or the child has been able to learn, is that they are able to put it down on a paper using a pen and paper. So it's more like the basics of academics. So today, like I said, if you are joining us for the very first time, my name is Sarah Adana. I am an educational psychologist and a mental health advocate for children and adolescents. So I've been doing a series on understanding learning disabilities. So today we are talking about the difficulties that most children face when it comes to writing. So today we're going to be talking about the learning disability that affects, or that comes with writing. So this learning disability or this learning difficulty that affects writing is called dysgraphia. It's called dysgraphia. So dysgraphia, Dysgraphia. So dysgraphia is a common learning difficulty, or a learning disorder, or a common learning challenge that affects a lot of children, that affects teenagers, especially it's common with um, children between the age of 3 to 10. So it's a common learning disability that affects children and affects the way they write. So now this learning disability is a neurological problem. So it's a brain-based challenge. It has to do with the brain. So it's an inability of the brain to process writing. So for example, you may have a child as a parent or a teacher, which this child is quite smart, very intelligent. When it comes to speaking, they are 10 ability called. Okay, I just had a bit of glitch, so I want to be sure that you're still with me so I can continue. Please help me type in the comment section that you are here. You can hear me, so I would know if I would continue or not. I had a bit of glitch currently. This is the network. Okay. So moving on, I was saying that, for example, you can have a child or a learner, if you're a teacher, they have so much in their head and they know how to interact. But when it comes to putting down what they know, from all that they've been taught or something, when it comes to exams, when it comes to homework, when it comes to expressing the things that they've said or yeah, that they know in a pen, in a paper, using a pen, it's a problem. So it becomes a challenge. If you've experienced such a child before, please let me type in the comment section that yes, you have experienced such a child. So writing is like a major difficulty that most children face between the age of 3 to 10. And like I said, it is a brain-based challenge. It's a brain-based difficulty. So it's the inability of the brain to allow the child, the toddler, or the learner to write. So most times you see them that their handwritings are scattered. You are unable to read it. You are unable to understand. Even they themselves cannot understand what they are writing. So I've come to make us understand that that is a challenge, and that's the reason why most of them cannot write, because there is something they are probably struggling with or they are currently struggling with, which is called a brain-based challenge called dysgraphia. So I'm going to be going into tips, signs for you to know that your child may be struggling with dysgraphia, and tips for you, practical strategies for you to help such a child. So moving on, we've talked about what dysgraphia is. It's practically or it's basically a learning difficulty that affects the writing of a child. So it's a problem that affects the way a child writes. So it's a neurological problem. It's a brain-based challenge that affects their fine motor skills, the ability for them to use their fingers to hold a pencil. To I don't know if you have you ever experienced a child holding a pencil before, and the pencil just seems to fall off their hand every single time they're using a pencil. It falls off their hand, or they are unable to hold a pencil and write well. Yes, that's a challenge. That thing is called dysgraphia. And it doesn't mean that they actually are not putting effort or they are not making progress into wanting to be better or even write better. No. So because of this kind of challenge, most people or most parents or most teachers tend to term the child as lazy. So these children that do not know how to write or they struggle with writing, is not because they are lazy or because they are not intelligent. They just have the challenge of putting in whatever they have in paper. So if you see, like I said, a lot of them already, when you ask them a question, they know how to speak. They know how to answer. But when it comes to writing it during exam, they cannot put it on a paper. Either their handwriting is so bad, or they just jam pack the words together, or they are writing a different letter with another letter, things like that. So that is a writing difficulty, which is also, or it is from a learning disability called dysgraphia. So like I said, it's a brain processing issue and it can control the way the child writes. So now, let's talk about the real life signs to watch out for um, if you have a child or a learner. So the signs that you can know, few cues for you to know that your child may have this learning disability or the challenge or the difficulty in writing is that one, your child avoids writing like it's a punishment. You tell them, come and write A, they're running away. Come and write B. So they keep on, if it's not, please listen, it's not that they are toddlers. They are between the age of 1 to 3 and they are unable to know. So from the age of 3 to 10, if they still struggle to write, to hold a pen or a pencil, to write